Back to another video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to deploy this application as a standalone exe for Windows. The process will be similar for Linux, right? First, let's see what the project is. So this was the project, right? Now in this video, we'll be deploying it, right? So let's get started. First of all, like click over here and choose release, right? So that you're running it for or building it for release, right? Let it configure first, and once it's done, click on play to see if it's running. And as you can see, like it's running properly, right? Now we'll be deploying it, right? So let's see where it's located. Now this is the folder where the actual code is, right? And if you go one step back, you'll see that there's a folder with release written on it, right? Now it has a lot of files, and it also has something called app basic increment project.exe. This is exactly like the application for us. Right now it won't work because all the dynamically linked libraries are not connected. So we'll be like working with this location and creating this exe over here, right? So first of all, what you need to do is you need to know the location to this folder. You also need to know the location to this folder, right? Like basically you need to know where this app basic increment project.exe is located, right? This folder location. For me it's d/qt project slash this path. You also need to know the location of the actual code, like this is the actual code, right? So for me it's d/qt project slash basic increment project, right? Now what you need to do is go to C drive, go to qt, now go to 6.5.3. Now choose MinGW. You can choose any like compiler for which MinGW. Although to be honest with you, for Windows, MSVC works more better like compared to Windows, like compared to MinGW, right? Now in MinGW, go to bin, and at the end you will see something called WindeployQT.exe, right? You will see this file. This is what you will use to make the release application, right? So you can right click and select open a new terminal, or you can like click on this URL and like say and type cmd command. Both of them will open the terminal, right? Now we'll be using this application WindeployQt.exe, right? So I'll be sharing the actual code to paste. So you have to first say WindeployQt minus qmldir, and this is the directory of the qml file, right? The actual code. This is the location of the actual code, right? This one, this one, not the release folder, the actual code with main.cpp file and main.kml file, etc., right? Ignore this git. This is like I was like building a git repo here. So for you it will be like four files, so, right? So main.kml, main.cpp and cmic, right? So copy this location and replace this with your actual path, right? And the second path will be the release folder, right? So for me it will be this folder where the app.exe is located, right? I'll copy this path and paste it here. Now I'll copy this entire code, and in the terminal make sure that this terminal is located in this location, Qt 6.5.3 or any Qt version which I've installed, and then MinGW or any compiler, and then bin. Now paste it here and press enter. Give it some time, right? After like I think it will hardly take 1 minute or 2 minutes at most. Yeah, it's done. Now go back to the release folder. You'll see a lot of files are added, right? And now if you double click on this app basic increment project one, you can see that it will run properly. Now there are a lot of unnecessary folders, right? Among this you only need two. One is platforms, the other is QML. So delete the rest. Okay, I think it's not working like because the project is still open in Qt Creator. I'll close this one and then delete this CMake and translation. Now double click on this application, it will still run. Now you can also delete some other things like build ninja, CMake and other files, right? Now you can also delete a lot of like unnecessary DLS, like we don't need 3D like libraries, right? Because we're not using any 3D like libraries here. So like you can like manually see deleting which one works for you and which one doesn't, right? So after you have like shorted it, it will be like three or four like DLS will be needed, and then you can just copy this in that folder or make a zip file and share it with anyone and it will work. Now this is dynamically like creating a release folder, right? There's also something called static, but it's a bit tedious to like create a static version. What static is like, it will only create a single like exe, like this will be a large file and a single exe file will be created, right? And running that will like run the application. So in a later video I'll like show you how to create a static like release, but for now I think this is much easy. The same thing will also work in Linux and in Mac OS, right? Instead of WindeployQ, like I think there is some other like command. I'll make a separate video for that later. But yeah, thank you for that and have a